My name's Steve Johnston. If you don't know me, you're very, very welcome here today. It doesn't matter what company you're with. We are very pleased to have you with us. And I'll introduce John to you in a second, but I want to welcome John to the call. Great to be together with him. We've been doing business together for a couple of years now. And John has been he's been an asset to my own real estate team. So one of the things that I really believe in is building up multiple streams of income. And I said a little bit about that earlier, but it's worth repeating that where times are tough, one of the best things you can do is have other sources of income. But what you don't want is to have to get a second job or do something that's going to take you away from your business of real estate. Because, I mean, as Michelle was just telling us, you don't succeed in real estate by accident. You don't just wake up in the morning and decide what you're going to do and do like part-time real estate work. It doesn't work. It is a full-time demanding career, and it requires a huge amount of daily discipline to like Michelle used the word consistency. It's the consistency of daily disciplines of building relationships that helps build this business. And you can't do that if you're working a second job or whatever. So how do you develop secondary sources of income without distracting you from your current work? Well, you have to find ways of producing income that are basically in the stream in which you are swimming. So you're busy swimming downstream towards a certain goal. Imagine there were some opportunities where just by going down the stream, you could reach your hand left, and in the same stream, there's something that there's a fish you could catch there, and then reach your hand right, there's a fish you can catch there without ever stopping swimming down the stream. Well, within within real estate, there are opportunities like that where, the prime example is, bond originators pay a bond com. So if I know many of you are in my EXP team. If we use Multinet, they pay you, the agent, 0.5% bond com. That's awesome. In my group the other day, there was about 35,000 Rand was paid to someone as a bond com a couple of weeks ago, because it's something that they're doing anyway with their clients. And now this brings us to Jean and Old Mutual, because I think there's a huge opportunity on the insurance side for you to refer your clients, because there are certain statutory requirements that a purchaser has to have in place in order to get bond finance. Now, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a practicing agent myself, so Jean, you can correct me on this, but I believe that when someone gets a bond, they have to have a certain insurance product. I think it's life insurance they've got to have. Maybe there's some other cover, Jean.
Yeah, Steve. So just on that, so obviously if it's a freestanding house, building insurance is a requirement. Life cover is not always a requirement. There's obviously some circumstances where it's under a certain income or first-time home buyer or under $1 million with some of the banks. But yeah, definitely building insurance. Yeah.
Okay, Jean, you broke up there a little bit. I don't know if you've got another Wi-Fi connection you can get onto there. Yeah, we can hear you now, but your video is still pixelated, so I can tell your internet connection is not good there. But so we caught the gist of that. There are certain things that people have to have, and if you refer them out to someone that you believe in, then happy days if you can get a percentage of the premiums. Now, Jean is going to explain all of that. I just want to tell you my background with Jean. I was referred to Jean by, I think, Liz Nanell originally, who is, at the time, she was the top-selling agent in EXP out of 1,000 agents. So she's a very successful lady in the northern suburbs of Cape Town. And she had a relationship with Old Mutual and Jean's practice within Old Mutual, because Jean runs one of the top advisory firms associated with Old Mutual. It's called Riel and Associates. And she said to me, look, these guys are really good. They provide incredible service. They are reducing the premiums of all of my clients. We really can take hands with these guys with confidence. And so because it was a referral from Lisna and she knows what she's talking about, I agreed to meet with Jean. And I liked John immediately personally, but also then obviously checked him out professionally. and things look good. So then I said, well, sort of as the final acid test of whether I'm going to promote Jean to my group or not, is let me actually get him to come and do a quote on my personal insurance. So Jean looked at my cover, which did not include the structure of our home, that's insured through someone else, but all of my other short-term insurance. So house contents, all of our cars, my mountain bikes, there's a few other things that cost a lot of money in there. And I was with First for Women, which we got through my wife, and we were paying, I think it was 11,000 Rand a month. John will remember the exact numbers.
Yeah, it was about 12,500.
12,500 Rand a month I was paying to First for Women. And Jean took a look at the policy schedule. He said, just email me the policy schedule. I sent it out within a day. The next day, Jean got back to me. He said to me, these guys are completely ripping you off on your premium, and I want you to look at the excess on your vehicles. Because the excess on the vehicles was some astronomical amount. I can't remember what it was. And Jean got it down to like a quarter or something of the excess.
Yeah, it was at 12.5, and we got it down to 2.5, yeah, per vehicle.
Yeah. So I mean, if I crashed my car, I was going to have to put in the first 12,500 Rand. Thanks very much, First for Women. Now, if I crash my car, which God willing I will not do, I only have to pay the first 2.5. So, and my premium went from 12.5 down to, was it about 7?
Yeah, 6.9.
6.9 from 12.5 to 6.9, and my excesses went down by like 80%. So I'm extremely happy. The service was amazing. It was a very easy process to actually move everything across. Jean's office handled a lot of the admin behind it. So I am a very happy customer of Riel and Associates, and I can confidently refer them to you. So at the end of today, I'm going to hand over to Jean now for him to explain things, but I'm going to encourage you to do two things at the end of today. Okay, number one, call Jean, or if there's another contact number he gives you, call that number and book Riel and Associates to do an assessment of your own insurance. That's the first thing you must do, because you don't want to refer anyone to your clients that you're not comfortable with yourself. So get them to do a quote for you personally. Get them to look at whatever you're doing. And you might find that they'll save you a few thousand Rand a month like they did me. Then once you're comfortable with the company and that they've provided you with good service, my suggestion is that you then take advantage of referring them to your clients, because Riel and Associates will start paying you a percentage of the premiums that are paid by your clients. It is an incredible way to develop a secondary income by doing what you're already doing, and by serving your client. Your client will be happy if, like me, Riel and Associates saves them 5,500 Rand a month. Okay, so that's my introduction, Jean. We appreciate our relationship with you. Jean also sponsors my annual Build conference, which I'm very grateful for. And it's been a great relationship, Jean. So over to you.
Thanks so much, Steve. Thanks for your time, and thanks for everyone else's time this morning. And I hope you all are doing well, and I hope sales is going to pick up even further going forward in 2024. So basically, just a little bit about Riel and Associates. I started out in the industry about almost 14 years ago as a young guy that wished to become a professional cricket player back in the day. And yeah, stuff didn't work out that way, and I got the opportunity as a financial planner in Old Mutual. And 8 years ago, I started the practice, and within 3 or 4 years, we were about 12, 14 associates, and we just grew from there. So basically, one thing that we specialize in is client service. So I always believe that you didn't do your work yet when there's actually a claim, like a death in a family, or an investment that needs to be invested over and getting growth, or a short-term claim for an accident, breaking that house. That's quite important. So that's where our work actually then starts. So it's all about client-centric and looking after the client's financial needs. So that's basically what we do. But in tough times where we are at currently, guys, is with the economy, inflation at a high, interest rates are still at a high, and I remember us speaking in the beginning of the year at Bold Africa and saying that interest rates is going to come down by about one basis point. And there was no movement yet. So now we're expecting a hold until September, and most definitely, hopefully, then it will come off. But with inflation being at a high, we know that that can't happen. But hopefully that happens soon, and that will just activate the market again. But in tough times like this is where we come in, and we need to foot in the door to your client or your own portfolio to actually assess you and do holistic planning. So what we do is we save clients money. But we don't just give them a product so that we can save them money. We do holistic planning. We make sure that they got the most comprehensive product on the market, and we save them money by just planning properly, adding contents, vehicles, boarding to each other, quoting on different ID numbers, for an example, husband or wife. We really go through a lot of trouble to make sure that we can get the best installment for you guys. And that's not all we do. Because we got a millionaire status short-term book, we can apply up until 40%, guys. So if I get your outsurance schedule and be 400 Rand more affordable, I can still apply another 40% discount on that. So it really changes lives. On a daily basis, we save clients on short-term premiums between 8 and 10,000 per month. That's 100 to 120,000 in savings on a daily basis we do for clients per year. So it's really a lot. And like I mentioned, that's just the foot in the door, guys. So then my work starts. So I do an analysis. I look at estate planning. I look at retirement planning. I look at offshore investment planning if there's a need for it. And what we then do is we split commission on all of that business that gets done. So thanks, Steve, for clarifying a percentage of the premium. It's almost correct. It's a part of it. So on the short term and your commercial, your business insurance, which is short term. So when we refer to short term business, guys, that's your car, your contents, your property, your building in the business, liability for your workers, and so forth. That is a percentage of the premium. So you get a monthly passive income on that. But where the money and the second income stream really lies is in the life cover, estate planning, retirement planning for clients, because there is an upfront commission, a huge chunk. And I'll give you guys an example. So that commission, I'll give you the average premium that we do. It's 1,400 for husband and wife. The commission on there is about almost 3,750 first year commission. So that's in your pocket. So imagine referring 2 clients on a monthly basis, you almost got 8,000 for doing absolutely nothing. So that's the one part. The second part is then you get a second year commission if that policy is still on books for 12 months. And then each year when the installment goes up, you get a commission again. So you're building generation wealth. It's just growing all the time. So it's a medium to long-term independent contract. And you obviously need to look more in medium long-term, because in 5 years' time, you're going to be earning 10,000 before you even actually sending on a client or looking at your own portfolio, or a friend or a family member. So, and that's how you grow. That's how you can put your brand out there. Because obviously, if you earn an additional 18,000 a month, you can have 2 boards up in the main road, for an example, or be involved with another creche or school, and you got cash flow to do that. So another important thing is we work very closely with our agents. So we're not just there to get a lead or to sell them a policy. We're actually there to build relationships and see how we can help you and your business, and obviously better your future in your business as well. So basically, that's about commissions. I would say, I always say there's Juan-Louis and Associates and not another company. And I think there's 3 things in our practice that stands out. We deliver on our promises. We get back to you within the same day. If it's at 9 o'clock in the evening while I'm doing emails, we'll get back to you. We'll keep you in the loop with the policy and the process of your client or your own portfolio. And the feedback will be quite sufficient in that. And I think the main thing is that we add value to you and your clients. And that's the main thing that stands out. Just to give you guys an idea, if I do a holistic plan for a family and a member dies or become ill, we're sitting with 5 cancer claims now, 3 of it colon cancer, for an example. You really add value to that family. And for that, they will ever be grateful for you. And here's where it comes in. We ring fence your clients. So we got a system called X-Plan. So when Lisa, for an example, send us a lead and we close that lead in business, she doesn't just get commission on the short term monthly and upfront and second year, but her name is captured to that client. So in 2 years, when I do an annual review, and that client says, I want to sell my property, or my nephew wants to sell, or my next door neighbor, that lead's coming back to you. And that's how we generate future leads within your own business for you as well. And that's what we've been known for in the business, and where we build trust, because I always believe firmly in trust and building relationships and spending time together, working together, that builds trust. So, and that's basically what we do. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions, but yeah, that's in a short nutshell what we do and how we can assist you. Maybe I can just add, I got agents that joined me in the last 12 months that's been in the industry for 8 months, that's earned 12,000 a month, 15,000 a month. I had a guy in Somerset West at the end of last year, he earned 21,800 out of one lead. It was a big life policy. We just reviewed it, structured everything together, and he earned 21,800. So that's almost like a sale on a flat in property. So it really adds value, and it's a medium to long term. So I am aware that a lot of agents, they don't have a group life cover or a pension fund or a provident fund, and this is something that can actually run and build up for an extremely wealthy pension one day, especially if you got 20, 25 years plus to go. Even if you only got 10, 15 years, you can still build up a nice passive income. Yeah, so that's basically it. I don't know if there's any questions. I would like you guys to ask me some questions this morning.
Jean, before we get to the questions, I just want to ask you to repeat what you said earlier, because your internet broke up on in the process of a property transaction specifically. Where does the opportunity lie there?
Okay, thanks, Steve. Yeah, just stop me if it breaks up. I'm actually on the office's Wi-Fi, so I'm not too sure why it's slow. It's normally quite fast. So basically, when you get a property or a mandate and you get buyers coming in to look at the property, just remember, guys, not if there's 20 people coming to the property, only one can buy it. But you don't have to lose that income stream of that client that's going to buy somewhere else. So share that details with me. We'll phone the client, and once they buy somewhere else, we can even still assist them. You're not earning commission on that sale, but you can still earn commission on the insurance. And the buyer that actually buys the property, so there's a seller and a buyer, so both of them is a lead, because just remember, guys, the seller is going to most likely buy somewhere else, and he'll have a need for insurance and to review his portfolio again. And the buyer buying the property, if it's a first-time buyer, that's the best lead ever. So we do holistic planning for that guy. So when the OTP goes into the bond originator, that's a good time to also tell the client, we are working with jvanderriel and Associates. They're going to look holistically at your portfolio, and they're going to save you money. That's most definite. They will give you a call. So that's the best time, Steve, to get the lead through to us.
Yeah, awesome. Jenny, go for it.
Hi. Thank you for your interesting chat. I wanted to ask around the Poppy Act with referring clients to you. How does one get around that? Because I know people are quite sort of iffy about this at the moment.
Thanks a lot for your question. It's a good question, Jenny. So we got a wording that we can place in your OTP, your offer to purchase, that basically covers the Poppy Act. So yeah, so there's no troubles on that, and then you can gladly refer that client onto us. Or if it's not in your OTP, we got a short document that you can just get the client to sign just to consent to share detail. Thanks. Yeah, we obviously a big corporate, that's Old Mutual South Africa Limited, so that's important to us as well. So good question.
Thank you.
Thanks. And then I just saw a question from Wilma. I'm not going to type it out now. I'm just going to answer you quick. So yeah, we basically work in the whole of South Africa. So I got associates. We're based in Cape Town, but we work in Joburg, Pretoria, Durban, Garden Route, and in the whole of Western Cape. So we cover most of the areas. Limpopo and those areas, if there's a need for financial planning, we do have financial planners there. They're not part of my practice, but of the bigger Old Mutual, and you'll still get the same split, same commission, same service. So yeah, just on that question.
And John, PE and East London, Eastern Cape?
Yep. Yeah, we cover that. I see that as Garden Route. So George, still PE, East London, we covered. I'm actually assisting quite a few agents there within EXP, that's giving nice referrals. So most definitely we do cover that. I was actually in PE the other day seeing some clients myself. So I go there quite often as well.
All right, another question, guys. Over to you. This is your chance. If you've got a question, just stick up a hand, and we'll get to you. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle, you turned off your camera there instead of turning on your microphone.
That's me. Okay. Hi, John. Thanks for that. What is the procedure when we've got a buyer? Who do we WhatsApp you? I mean, I did this last week, and I just need to clarify the procedure. Okay.
So there's two procedures. So you can either WhatsApp, so you can inform us. We'll do a WhatsApp group. I know a lot of you guys are on a lot of WhatsApp groups, so it's not always the best way. Or you can just send an email to my office. So we got two systems in place, either a WhatsApp group or an email to my office. And I'll actually share that email address with you guys now. My office gets the lead. It's instant, guys. 5 to 10 minutes. They'll give you feedback, even if we didn't get a hold of the client. So we got a system in place for that. But I normally recommend email because we can keep track of it. It just works better. But if you got a hot lead and the client wants to speak now, WhatsApp, and then it will also happen immediately.
Thanks, John. And so you just want the client's name and email address and phone number.
Yeah, so name, surname, and obviously more or less the amount they're buying for. Then we know what we're looking for. It's an apartment or a freestanding house. Then we know what need the client might have as well.
So he just says if he's just sorted out his insurance with another company, can he still refer customers to you?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, Andries, most definitely you can do that. And if you would like to even review, if you got the right advice, you're more than welcome to do that as well. You're more than welcome.
Morning, everyone. Sorry, I don't have a question. I just want to compliment John. He did an assessment for me on all my personal insurance, short-term motor vehicles, motorbike, household contents, building insurance, which I had found out at the time I was paying double. So he's actually saved me like 3,000 Rand a month, but on my building insurance, he saved me another 3,000 Rand on an annual basis. So it actually works out to more than 3,000 Rand. And then that's without taking into consideration the commission that I receive on top of my own policy. So it's like a double bonus saving. So I just want to recommend John, absolute professional, absolute genius at what he does. His staff as well, the ladies who come on board and do some of the running for him as well, absolutely brilliant. They know what they're doing, very professional. And I had a really good experience. And as a result of that, I am referring my clients through to him as well. Not even just my buyers, even friends, people I've heard of, spoken to in the past. I'm referring everyone because it's just such a pleasant experience. And the saving, obviously, for them is going to be beneficial. Just on top of that, my cover, in fact, the cover I'm getting for less money is more than double. So my cover is better and I'm paying less. So it's like a really, it's the 3,000 Rand saving is actually not even a true reflection of what I'm getting because the cover I'm getting is that much better than what I had. So, and I think that is just because of his knowledge. I said to him at one stage, I've got no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to insurance. I honestly don't. So it was just really comforting to know that they can also guide you and say, do you know that you're doing this or this isn't covered properly? So I can highly recommend Jean's services, and please, that extra bonus each month that you get from their commission structure is another nice to have as well. Thanks, Jean, for all your hard work.
Thanks a lot, Monica.
Hallo John.
Yes.
Ietsie vra, Rosan hierso. Sorry, my camera aan nie hoor. Jammer oor dit. Hy wil nie aan nie.
Geen probleem.
Sê gou vir my, is dit basies net 'n naam en 'n van en 'n nommer wat ons vir jou gee of moet ons julle introduce na moet ons sê kyk John van der Riel and Associates gaan jou bel en kyk na jou versekering. Sê net 'n inleiding kan gee.
Yes, thanks a lot for that, Roxanne. So the best way of doing it is just to introduce them that we will contact them so that it's not a cold call. So we prefer that the client is aware why we're phoning them and that we are phoning them and in connection with what. So that's basically all you have to do on your side and how you can actually introduce us.
Okay, baie dankie.
No problem.
En Rosan, dis die rede wat ek gesê het dat jy moet eers vir jouself van Riel Associates gebruik.
Yes.
How's that?
Dankie.
That was pretty good, eh?
Well done.
Oh, that's
No,
good.
Well done, Steve.
Because, you know, if you really believe in a company and their service, it's so much easier to refer them to your friends and family and clients because you genuinely feel like you're doing them a favor. So that's why, Rosanna said, I think it's the best plan for everyone on this webinar is it's not going to hurt you. Contact John and his people, get them to do a review of your own insurance needs. You know, that doesn't cost you anything. They might save you money. Just do it. And then if you're happy, then begin referring them. And then you'll do it with enthusiasm.
My question is, as jy byvoorbeeld ons OTP laat het voorsiening vir insurance, né? Wat baie nice is, dan kan ons jou besonderhede invul. Maar wanneer jy by die kliënt kom en hoe ver moet jou transaksie wees? My rede hoekom ek dit vra is, as die kliënt 'n verband teken, dan sluit hulle mos nou daai versekering in. Kom julle voor dit in of teken die kliënt eers die verbandaanvaarding met daai versekering en na 'n maand dan skuif julle dit oor na julle toe?
Yeah, thanks, Jean. That's a valid question and it's a good question. So I'm going to explain this as slow as I can. So when, and we're talking about a freestanding house here now where building insurance is needed. So obviously the process is obviously the buyer comes and look at the property, he makes an offer to pay or he offers to purchase and it goes to the bond originator. Then there's final grant or grants coming through and the client accepts, for an example, Bank B. I never mentioned banks' names because all of them are expensive on insurance. So they accept Bank B and the insurance for the property of 2 million is 950 Rand. So I'll go out to the client immediately and I'll show them that, listen here, in some instances, they're still 3 weeks before they go into the attorneys to sign. Then we do the quote, we send it to the attorneys and we can do it up front. In some instances, we get the lead a little bit late, like a week before they go into the attorney or 2 days. And then we rather say, listen, you sign up. We don't kind of hold up the process because that's the last thing that I do. I know agents, you guys get paid when that deal goes. So then it's say, let's fine, accept the Bank B's insurance. And then the following month, we'll just activate it and cancel the bank's insurance. We've done thousands of them. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions, guys? Please, we do have time, so I would like to get as much questions on the commission you can ask. Just to give you guys an idea, we paid out 5.8 million. That's not from our associates, that's clients that I've seen to ICs in the last 5 years. So there's really potential for you guys in this.
Jean, do I understand correctly that some of the bond originators build in the insurance products into their offering, and it's sometimes unbeknownst to the client? They're almost not alerted to the fact that they do have discretion.
Yeah, 100%, Steve. So basically all of them do. So there's different companies. So some of them have a cell captive, some of them have guardrails, but all of them do. So what happens when that final grant gets accepted and signed? They will phone the client and say, listen here, Mr. Client, you took out a bond. They've already got the quotation ready. So they say the building is 800 and your life cover is 600 and you must take it. So the first thing over there is you don't have to take it with them. That's the first thing. And you only need building insurance. So you don't have to always take the life cover, but we always recommend it to a family because it becomes your second biggest asset. So Basically, what I mean with that is your property will be your second biggest asset, and your ability to earn an income is your biggest asset. And I've asked this in audience of 1,520 times, and the people will always tell me my biggest asset is actually my property or my BMW standing in the garage. It's not, guys. Your biggest asset is the ability to earn an income. So I mean, I always ask the question, how many of us insure our own life and our ability to work temporary and permanently? And on the end, I'll actually have a video that I would like to share with you guys of one of the clients we got as our mutual client in Secunda, what actually happened and how important it is to insure your income, guys. So yeah.
All right, super. Any more questions, guys? You're very welcome. Use the time now while we've got John. You're very welcome. Even if you feel like it's a stupid question, there's no stupid questions. You raise your hand and you have your say. Morning, Mike.
Good morning, everyone. It's an interesting point that you have there. How can you check on your, I'm with Bank S, let's call it that. And I have insurance by them, but how can I check on that if I've got that protection of paying my fees, if I can call it, or my bond payments?
Yeah, so what you can do, Michael, you can reach out to us on email. We can set up a meeting. I'll get you to fill in a letter of authority and I can have a look for you. And we can see what is in place, what not, and if you're paying too much at Bank S.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hi, Jean. I've got a client that's got 3 flats in City Bowl, Cape Town, and building 2 properties now that their estimated time will be October when the keys get handed over. So I understand it's under the National Building Insurance now, but when can I introduce him to you now, if so, for October?
Yeah, you can actually introduce the client now. Because like I've explained, we don't just do building insurance or structure, that's the foot in the door. So we can actually produce him or actually provide him with quotes now, and I can actually look holistically at his own portfolio as well. So like I mentioned, we share commission on everything that gets done holistically. So not just the building or the bond cover and so forth. So yeah, most definitely. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, guys, so Jean will be in touch, and I do encourage you again, get him to have a look at your own insurance needs and then start referring him to set up a secondary income. Jean, bless you, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate all that you do for us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eno Senegal. With me, I've got Juan-Louis van Riel. We want to tell you a bit more about the Old Mutual independent contractor. How do you become an independent contractor? Well, I want to ask you a couple of questions. And while you're sitting there and listening to this, the first question is, are you providing advice and are you accredited to provide advice? The second question that I've got is, would you like to diversify your current income stream? And I know it's a cheeky question because who wouldn't want to do that? The third question is, do you want to enhance your customer value proposition and partner with a leading industry partner? And that brings me to the question that, what is an independent contractor? So welcome, Juan-Louis.
Oh, thanks, Enu. So an independent contractor is an individual or a company, like a bond originating firm, a real estate firm, or a conveyancing company, or a law firm, for that matter. So sending us a successful referral via a client or a company, might be a business, and we do holistic planning and we assist that client, and we obviously pay a referral fee to that company or individual that has referred the referral to us.
So it's a referral fee. There's something in it for the customer. There's something in it for you. Maybe just elaborate a little bit more. I know you've been doing this a very long time and you've been very successful with this. Who do you find the best to work with?
So most definitely real estate firms, because there's clients that's got a need for insurance via buying a house or buying in an estate. And also bond originators, whereby a client actually applies for a bond to get approved, and then also conveyancers, accountants and business owners.
So everyone with a good customer base, there's something in it for you, but what's in it for you? And it's really about this diversified income, and this is probably where you're going to sit up and listen and say, what's in it for me? Now, what's in it for me? I mean, I've been working with independent contractors with Old Mutual for a long time. We've been very successful. There's lots of people that have quite a big income stream based on this referral fee. Juan-Louis, you don't always brag about the fact that you are top 10 in South Africa, but you have been exceptionally successful with independent contractors. What has your practice actually paid out to independent contractors?
Thanks, Enu. So in the last 5 years, we are quite humble to say and proud that we've paid out 5.8 million to our successful independent contractors all over South Africa that actually supports jvanderriel and Associates and Old Mutual personal financial advice.
Cool. So there's definitely something in it for you. What else can we offer you? So enhanced value proposition. Most definitely everyone would want to add an extra value proposition to their customer. But what does this mean from our side? From our side, it means that on the one hand, we build wealth, and on the other hand, we actually protect that wealth. And that is our every single day job. Now, Juan-Louis, you are doing this every single day. You are doing financial planning, wealth creation, wealth protection. Tell us a bit more about those three concepts.
So financial planning, we do holistic financial planning. We're not just a call center that sells you a life policy. We basically go out, see a client, we gather all the information, we look at the client's needs individually, and we actually come back and we present a plan for those needs. And we also take into consideration what the client can afford and also where we can save the client money looking at holistic planning. On the wealth creation side, we assist clients with pre-retirement plans to retire one day, investment planning, tax-free savings, education planning, and also income protection, as your income is your biggest asset to actually earn an income, and that's your biggest asset by far. On the wealth protection side, we obviously do risk planning to make sure that if you pass away, your loved ones are taken care of, your liabilities are taken care of, and most important, that your family is placed in the same position as what they were before the event occurred.
And everything that you're doing every single day is helping customers to be financially well, to get to that financial wellness. And I mean, that's a freedom that every single person is looking for. The other concept that we want to partner with you on is our leading experts and specialist resources available. And we've got estate planning industry experts that we partner with, our legal advisors. Because we work with them, it effectively means that you and your customers have access to that as well.
100%, Enu. So we also assist clients with medical aid, gap cover. We got a specialist in our practice that's been working in the medical aid field for more than 30 years, looking after our clients' financial needs holistically. And then we also do employee benefits like super fund, pension funds for companies and their employees, and group life cover along with that. And obviously we got short-term specialists in the commercial and personal side looking after you and your company's financial needs.
Let me try and wrap up. What is the benefits of being an independent contractor with Old Mutual? Well, first off, we cover your advice risk. We take care of that. We've got the knowledgeable and the best that you can actually partner with. And then very importantly is that you enter into a legal agreement with Old Mutual, the biggest and the oldest distribution channel in South Africa.
Yeah, and so most definitely it's quite simple to enter into the agreement. There will be a QR code that will be on the screen that you can scan and enter your details, or you can contact us on an email address that will show up on the screen, or you can actually just give us a shout or reach out. You're more than welcome, and we look forward for you to join this journey with jvanderriel and Associates and Old Mutual Personal Financial Advice.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us.